So if you're planning on visiting the city of Detroit, you may have Googled the question, is Detroit safe? You'll probably have a bunch of responses saying, oh, Detroit, I wouldn't set foot in Detroit, or, oh yeah, Detroit's very safe. The downtown's very safe. The whole concept that's unsafe is a myth. Well, I guess both are true. But I'm going to kind of share with you some safety tips that I would and wouldn't apply. Okay. So, first off, have a car. Detroit is not a public transportation city. It's the motor city. So having a car, having Uber, Lyft, or whatever, may be your best bet in terms of getting around. Parking's not that bad. It's not Chicago. It's not New York. It's not a place where finding parking is very difficult, and you don't have to pay a whole lot either. So have a car. Also, if you're veering off into the city, you'll know if you're in a rough area or not. Some places in Chicago are just like a regular city, but they're gang ridden. Detroit's not like that in that sense, where um, you'll see gas stations and Family Dollars and liquor stores in the rough neighborhoods, and that's generally it. Maybe like a phone store or stuff like that, but and fast food, you know. So, in the downtown area, it's all generally nice, but if you veer off, I can get out of get into the inner city just like any major city usually. It gets pretty rough. So, you get out of the downtown area, you really got to watch it. So let's talk about the tourist areas. If you Google things to do in Detroit, all the things that come up, they're generally safe. Um, the campus marshes, Hart Plaza, Woodward. You go all the way to. There's actually a rail that'll take you from Hart Plaza around the river, down Woodward, all the way down to New Center area. And during that spin, you'll pass Campus Marshes, which is a big roundabout that kind of goes off into different directions to different roads. And then you'll pass the stadiums, the sports stadiums, the Fox Theater, the the Detroit Institute of Arts, the Fisher Building, and then it'll drop you off in kind of a no man's land as of right now in 2023. It kind of sets you in the middle of nowhere, and if you veer off out of that area, it can get rough. So don't wander off when you get off on that part of the Q line. I believe it's called. It's M1. They changed the name of a million times. So I don't know. And in that area is the Motown Museum. Motown Museum. It's not in the nicest area. I mean, it's okay, but it's around New Center area. So if you're planning on visiting that, definitely drive or Uber. The casinos are generally safe. Greektown's probably the safest. MGM's pretty safe. Motor City casinos in the middle of nowhere. Once you get in the casino, you're pretty safe. But in that area, I mean, it's still not really developed yet. I'd watch yourself around that area. Mexican Town is pretty safe. I mean, some of the areas around there, they do have their crime. I mean, it's not you're not completely 100% safe around that area. Especially as you go down to Verner a little bit more. It's not the nicest area, but I've never felt unsafe walking through there. So it's not that bad of an area. Hamtramck. Hamtramck is a city within the city, and that's pretty safe. Highland Park is not safe. Don't go there. There's nothing. You shouldn't be in that there anyway. There's nothing to do. Um, what else? The stadiums are in a very safe area. Greektown does have. I mean, crime does happen. I mean, that's what happens when you get a lot of people together. A crowd. Especially during a lot of like big events. It you see big crowds, and there has been violent crime there. But if you mind your own p's and q's, you should be fine. Greektown, there are a lot of undercover cops in that area, and during big events in general, there are a lot of undercover cops in the city of Detroit. Um, Huntington Bank Center. It used to be called Cobo. It's a convention center. That area is generally safe. Anywhere around the river is generally safe. Belle Isle, for instance. But if you Belle Isle's an island, so if you go off the island, don't go too far. Stay close to the river because that's the east side of Detroit. So if you veer off and go inward, inland a little bit off of Jefferson, I mean, it can get pretty rough quick. So be careful there. Um, where else? Corktown is very safe. I mean, it's Ford put a lot of money into it, right around the train station right there. But if you're going, it's on Michigan Avenue, and if you once you pass I-75, the main freeway, and you'll know what I'm talking about once you go down there. It gets rough quick. It drops off pretty quickly, and you'll know it too when you're going down Michigan Avenue because there's once you pass the freeway, it goes from Corktown to Blight. What else? Midtown, that's right off of Woodward. That's safe. They put a lot of money into that recently. New Center area safe. Uh, that's pretty much it. I don't think I missed anything. If you're going down Fort Street, Eastern Market. Eastern Market's off of Gratiot. It's right past. It's right in. You can see Ford Field from there. And if you're going down Gratiot, you'll see Eastern Market, and Eastern Market's a wonderful place to buy your meat and produce and just hang out. It's a great place for tailgating for Lions games, and it's very safe right there. But if you go on Gratiot a little bit more, you're on the east side of Detroit, so stay in that Eastern Market area if you plan on going there. Where else? What's another main street? John R. John R. is all. I wouldn't go down there. Grand Boulevard. Grand Boulevard's nice until you get to the central/west side, and then it's not the nice area. Grand River, same thing. Fort Street. Fort Street's generally safe. That leads to downriver, and I mean, you'll see it's not the. I mean, it's pretty uneventful other than the two. I mean, you see the Ambassador Bridge. You get a great view of the Ambassador Bridge, which is the bridge to Canada. And then they're building another bridge called the Gordie Howe Bridge, which is a little bit south of there. So if you want to go south, you go down Fort Street, and if you want to go east, then you take Gratiot. And everywhere else leads west because, well, I should say north if you want to go on Gratiot because direct east is the river if you're actually looking at it, I believe. I don't know. It's hard to, Detroit's not completely, doesn't completely go with the map. I get it. But those are the tips about visiting Detroit. Detroit's a beautiful place, but if you do, I mean, there are legitimate safety concerns when visiting the city. So have a car. Know where you're at, and just all the tourist destinations are pretty safe. So that's pretty much it. If you like this video, then like that video and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.